This is my story. This is how I began climbing trees. Back in 2000, 2001, I was living in Tulsa with my cousin. Me and my wife, who is my wife now, we were separated, but we were together. I was kind of down on my luck. I called a friend up, and he said, "Hey, you want to come up north? What do you think about climbing trees for a living?" I said, "Sure, I'll give it a shot."
Hey, bring a four up back with you.
The first day I started, I fell in love. It was an adventure. I was scared. I was nervous. Was I good enough? You know. First, I started out on the ground. Dragging brush, chipping, hanging on ropes. Then next, I was the one to get in the saddle. The first time, I actually went up and saved somebody. We like to practice saving people, as much as we can, because it's just for one, it's a health practice, and for two, you got to know what to do. But later on my journey, back in 2011, 2012, the day after my grandpa's funeral, I was walking in the kitchen in my mom's house, and I basically fell. I fell through part of the wall, not much, but my potassium gave out. Went to the hospital. We previously learned that I had basically a broken back. My L5 and S1 was damaged completely.
We use our hips.
After years of pain management, stem blocks, you name it, they pretty much did it to my back. I was just fed a handful of meds, kept going back monthly, getting meds, doing blockages. None of it really worked. Then I got hooked. Well, more dramatic happened back in 2015. I got sick. About the middle of 2015, I was having trouble going to the restroom. January 1st, I think it was 2015, 2016, I climbed a tree, and when I got home, I had to crawl. I had to crawl to the bed. My wife was like, "Nope, we're taking you to the hospital." Needless to say, we went to a small hospital in a small town. Next thing you know, they were transferring me to a bigger hospital in the city. Doctor came in and said, "You have a tumor that we're removing. It might be cancer, it might not be." After the surgery, in a week in the hospital, we were ready to go home. As we were leaving, the doctor said, "You will be going to do chemo treatments." I was pretty much devastated then. My wife was, upset. The rest of my family was upset. How was I going to tell them? But one thing about tree work, you learn to overcome a lot of obstacles. A lot of obstacles that help you in life. We pushed through 9 months of chemo, and even though I was doing chemo, I did 3 days a week, and that was with a little hip pack that had like a cup. I took about an 8-ounce teacup of chemo home with me for 2 days. I had a little fanny pack that was hooked up to a port that was in my chest. It fed the chemo. It was weird because it sounded like every time it was feeding me the chemo, it sounded like a picture was being taken. About a month of my last chemo, I tried to go back to work. I worked for the same company, probably 17, 18 years off and on. I went back, and it didn't take me long to realize I had neuropathy really bad in my hands and feet. If you ever had neuropathy, it feels like needles in your hands and feet. It feels like you're just walking on needles. It feels like you're grabbing needles. Chemo, it's very common. So I took off for a little bit. I did work for someone, a local guy, not much, just enough to help pay bills and get by. During this, trying to gain my strength, trying to get my endurance up, it was killing me. I was so used to being on the go. I was so used to working 6, 7 days a week. I was used to making money. If I didn't have any money, I could go out and make it. You know, I could either work for another company. I could help somebody else. I could mow lawns.
Yep.
You know, clean up leaves. Anything to do with outside, I could do it.
Hang on.
Then back in, I think, November of 2017, I went back to work for the major company that I was working for. I've been there ever since. I do know that tree work is hard work. Not anybody can do it. You know, it takes a special guy to go up 60 to 100 foot every day. You know, sometimes we climb over 200 to 300 foot a day. Trees we do. There's a million of us just like me. Some are better than others. Some are faster. Some are slower. Some are way more safer. But we do it. We do it to feed our families. We do it to help each other out. We are brothers in arms. Also, tree work has learned. I've learned a lot. You know, I've learned a lot of respect for hard workers. I've learned a lot of respect for others.
Where you at?
Right now, I'm in this pecan tree, and I'm just trying to get the brush out of my way. In this video, you see me going up, you know, probably 30, 40 foot. Tree work has also helped me overcome fears. With this job, you know, we go on any kind of national disaster. Hurricanes, tornadoes, wind microburst, you name it, we're usually front line. My most passion, the good thing I love about tree work is helping people get their power turned on. To me, there's no greater feeling than helping a family out. It's almost as much as the pay. The pay is good, but see a smile on a family's face knowing that they will have power and they will be warm that night, you know, especially during an ice storm. Tree work, not, you know, like I said, not like everybody can do it. But I'm kind of lost at words because, you know, I've had a long journey. I've done this so long. I'm sorry. In the next video, I will give more details, you know, how to climb, how to set ropes. I appreciate you watching. This is my story, and I appreciate you listening to it. Thank you so much.